Hello, my wonderful people. Part of our daily interactions and daily news comes this one. Anyway, let me not talk first. Let me give you the headline. Bianca Ojukwu's appointment raises hope for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Southeast reconciliation. Some people don't know the kind of game Tinubu is playing with the Southeasterners. Some people don't know that appointing Ojukwu because they want to capture Anambra State. APC want to capture Anambra State. I am bringing this to now to warn anyone that is close to Bianca to tell her never to accept that appointment if she really loves her own people. If the killings in the Southeast, more especially the killings in Anambra State, that she loves it, then let her accept the appointment. But anyway, that by the way, the reason why I even bring this news here is how does Bianca Ojukwu's appointment relate to Martin Nnamdi Kanu's freedom? I told us yesterday that period to this her appointment because she went to a conference or rather a convention in US, either Texas or New York, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Where she was a kind of agitating for Martin Nnamdi Kanu's release, where she said it is due time for him to be released. After that statement, she got an appointment. To tell you that anyone that raises their head to say anything concerning Martin Nnamdi Kanu gets an appointment or you get a money bag. Abaribe used Martin Nnamdi Kanu's freedom to get more money, to get more allocation, to get more constituency project money. Instead of normal 250 million that being given to them for not doing anything. Now Abaribe is receiving up to 480 million naira monthly as constituency project money. Go to Abaribe's constituency and tell me what Abaribe have done being in that Senate. There's no any relation. No. You cannot tell me that they appointed Bianca Ojukwu. So Ojukwu now is the one that will talk to Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release Martin Nnamdi Kanu and he will listen. Unless maybe there's another underground Pekus work. Maybe that one I can feel agree with you. I'm not saying that she's selling Pekus so that somebody will not come out and tell me now, look at what I'm talking about, somebody's woman. We are all in this game together and we know what is happening. So don't even give me that look or don't even give me that crap that we don't know what is happening before the parliament. Anyway, so let us read the news for reading's sake. But I must tell you, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, let us hope for the best in the coming days. As every other method have failed, even to the extent of the lawyer saying, I'm no longer interested in handling Martin Nnamdi Kanu's case, knowing fully well that Martin Nnamdi Kanu, the case of Martin Nnamdi Kanu have no root, no tap root, nothing. You don't even have any single root. That is just persecution, not persecution. Let us go straight to the reason why we are here. Once again, happy weekend to you all and happy Saturday. Don't forget, today is 26th, the month of October, in the year of 2024. We are moving forward. Amid the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's appointment of Bianca Ojukwu as the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs has sparked debate among stakeholders who view it as a step toward national healing between the Southeast and Nigeria in general. Just only Ojukwu. Hey, God have mercy. Our people, on a mumu don't do. Tinubu appoints her for his own selfish, for his own gain. Not because of they want to reconcile. If they want to reconcile, why can't Tinubu tell Sanwo-Olu to stop demolishing Igbo's businesses and houses in Lagos? Daily Post records that Tinubu reshuffled his cabinet in a midterm shake-up, with 5 ministers appointed, 7 removed from their positions, and 10 reassigned to new portfolios. Bianca joined other Southeastern ministers, including Doris Uzoka Anite, Minister of State for Finance, Uche Nnaji, Minister of Innovation and Science and Technology, and David Umahi, Minister of Works. Bianca's appointment, a path to national healing. While some sees Bianca's ministerial appointment as a strategic move, Kachi Ononuju, Director General of the Heritage Center, a think tank focused on research into economics, politics, and opinions, noted that the presidency recognizes the need for national healing, hence for appointment. Speaking with Daily Post, Ononuju stated, the president understands now that what brought him to office was a political party, and he is now working on an attempt to heal the country. So the strategies previously used are no longer effective, and he is now seeking unity. Don't forget, he's aiming for a second term, so appointing Bianca is understandable. That means to capture the Southeast. But we should also understand that Bianca is not a magic wand. Inclusion comes through actions, not just appointments. Bianca at best represents a memory, not the realities facing people alive today. The appointment of Bianca is thoughtful of the presidency, but creating hope and backing it up with action are two different things. Appointing Bianca is good, but will he follow through on what such an appointment might open up? Actions must validate the rhetoric. As with the ministers who were removed, if the president has set an example, they will have naturally aligned. But president who had appointed somebody without where they are going, they will end up and crashing. The bus that the Nigerians have entered no have direction on. Anywhere where it stop, anywhere where light went, we go off. About no, I was all one. I beg translator. I no fit kill myself. Even with the Bianca's appointment, he must treat her in a way that her constituents feel truly included, which requires more than just rhetoric. For Buhari, it was rhetoric, but for actions were often disappointing and at times insulting. Now that we have a divided country in need of healing, Bianca's appointment shows the president's recognition of this need. But appointing someone like Bianca also calls for follow-through actions. Political solution: Nnamdi Kanu and Bianca's influence. Ononuju minimized Bianca's potential influence in advocating for a political solution for Kanu's release, insisting that only the Nigerian government can decide on a negotiated release for the IPOB leader. A political solution can only be facilitated if the government agrees to it, and it has nothing to do with Bianca. It is in the government's hands. Now that the Southeastern leaders, including senators and governors, have approached the Minister of Justice with the message that a negotiated release for Kanu is crucial, and the minister have shown openness, let us wait and see what they decided. The acrobatics of appointing Bianca is not the issue. The government should simply do the right thing. They have granted negotiated release to people like Badejo and Owazurike, who were involved in a similar agitations. Kanu should be allowed to a negotiated release, enabling him to return and commit to refraining from previous actions. That is not too much to ask, as it has worked before and could work for Kanu, just as it did for others. Nnamdi Kanu's issues is a private matter between him and the state. We have had presidents before who negotiated release. Kanu has already expressed his openness to a negotiated release. This isn't new. We have seen negotiated release before, like with Asare Dokubo, Abdullahi Bello Badejo, the man from Niger Republic, who has been active within Nigeria, supporting the Fulani militia, though registered as from Bauchi. I know Badejo is actually from Niger Republic. You see him? Niger Republic causing mayhem in Nigeria, and he was released. These are like Nigeria's porous borders, as people like this have been able to operate in Benue State, waging conflict against its population for 8 good years. It took a change in government to Tinubu for the army to arrest Bodejo, who had been directing militia against indigenous Nigerians in Benue Valley. The offense of people in the Benue Valley is simply that they inhabit land with water and grass. Refugees from Mali fleeing conflict entered under Buhari's administration and through an army arrangement flooded Benue Valley with illegal militias who sought land access. This raises questions about the Ministry of Defense failure to address ethnic violence in Benue. While there has been a cabinet reshuffle, it failed to address this critical area, leaving much to be desired in the selection criteria. Kanu could be released by Tinubu. He also pointed to Tinubu's potential to release Kanu, noting the president's desire to depart from the legacies of his predecessor, former President Muhammadu Buhari. There is a real possibility that Tinubu might release Kanu at any time. There are no obstacles. Kanu is a product of Buhari's weaponized nepotism. And now that Buhari is gone, Kanu too should be free. Without Buhari's divisive policies, Kanu would not have fueled for his rhetoric. Both are relics of the past. People should consider fostering peace in the Southeast as part of Nigeria's broader vision. The Southeast, home to 74% of Nigeria's gas reserves, does not need conflict but inclusion. The Igbo's economic resilience after the Civil War should not be cause for fear or discrimination. Returning to Buhari's tactics and the use of military, as was common during his administration, is wrong and unnecessary. Now that he is gone, we need genuine national healing, not a continuation of his legacy. Nnamdi Kanu is one of Buhari's legacy, he added. Bianca in a strategic position to advise Tinubu on Kanu. Aloye Ejimako's lead counsel. Kanu's elite counsel noted that Bianca is well positioned to advise Tinubu on releasing the IPOB leader. Ejimako explained that the new minister could inform Tinubu about the negative impact of Kanu's continued detention on Nigeria's international image. Ejimako told Daily Post, Lady Bianca had publicly called for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, retreating it earlier this month in the United States during a keynote address to the American military veterans of Igbo descent, AVID. As the new Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, she is now in position to advise the President on the damage that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's continued detention is doing to the Nigeria's image globally. She is astute enough to understand this and honorable enough to strongly communicate this to the President without hesitation. Bianca's appointment, strategic blows to Kanu's release, chances and Tinubu's government. The policy Tinubu is playing here, he's going to use a Bianca to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what my mind just tell me now. He's going to use Bianca's influence as a part of the team who do something for Tinubu to release Kanu, and then you buy the minds of Anambra people. In other words, they will tell you that you see what Bianca have caused, now APC like this, like that, and they will take over Anambra State. All these things are game of minds. Activist lawyer Mado Abuchi Edam described Bianca's ministerial appointment as a strategic move for the Southeast. Edam stated that the new minister would boost the chances of Kanu's release from detention and enhance the reputation of Tinubu's administration. He said the appointment of Bianca Ojukwu as a minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria is a strategic and commendable political decision by Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Bianca's appointment, along with the eventual release of Mr. Kanu Nnamdi, would enhance the administration's image in the Southeast. Therefore, the president should be encouraged to take a step further by releasing Mr. Kanu. Nevertheless, numerous cabinet reshuffles without assigning critical portfolios to individuals with technical knowledge in those areas will amount to a beautiful waste of time. The president is all to replace several underperforming ministers who have remained ineffective since their appointment. With technocrats with proven track records, the hardship in Nigeria is real, and concrete actions must be taken rather than cosmetic policies that merely play to the gallery instead of addressing the real issues on ground. The last, but not the least, Tinubu have been left behind. World Bank and IMF is the one that forced Tinubu to remove a fuel subsidy. Now they don't come out to deny Tinubu. It was Tinubu's decision. IMF denies being behind subsidy removal. Tinubu have been left behind. The International Monetary Fund says it played no role in the removal of fuel subsidy by the President Tinubu's administration. It made a clarification at a press conference during the IMF and World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C., United States of America. Abebe Salese, IMF's African regional director, described the decision to remove fuel subsidy by Tinubu's government as a domestic one. The decision was a domestic one. Oh, we don't have program in Nigeria. Our role is limited to regular dialogue, as we have with other nations like Japan or the UK, the official said, according to Vanguard. However, Selassie argued that the government's choice regarding subsidy removal reflects in its long-term strategy for sustainable economic growth. We recognize the significant social costs involved. The government can mitigate these by expanding social protection for the most vulnerable. He said in reference to Nigerians affected by the impact of subsidy removal, Daily Post recalls that Tinubu announced that subsidy was gone on May 29 of 2023. The development has led to an astronomical hike in the fuel pump price, with a liter selling for over 1,000 naira as of the time of this report. Many Nigerians have accused the government of following the IMF policies in implementing total subsidy removal. But as it stands now, IMF have come out and said, our hand no dey. We know when IMF is telling Tinubu to remove fuel subsidy. But they know that Nigeria have one problem. The problem Nigerians have, and even their leader self, is they're too quick to forget. Their fast retentive memory is not functioning. That is why you see IMF, we have the God to come out and tell us that they are not in support of, they never have a hand in the removal of fuel subsidy. While they are the one that is knocking it like Ogene. My people. Anyway, now here we go take back break. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. My name is Remain Amanda Eze. Keep up sharing. I'll be right back.